What's up, Money Minds, and welcome back to another video edition of Market Briefs. Today is December 1st, and here's some business and financial news you can finally use. It looks like the Metaverse just got a whole lot bigger. And no, we are not talking about Facebook here. SoftBank just recently made a $1 billion investment into a South Korean Metaverse company. Zepeto is a South Korean Metaverse digital company that allows people to buy luxury items for 3D avatars. So yes, you can finally have Gucci in-game. But this goes far beyond Facebook, and it goes way past SoftBank as well. I mean, SoftBank has been making some big investments in a lot of companies lately. We saw them make a similar investment in another tech giant, WeWork, within the last few years. However, people just like spending money. And this idea of buying things online, whether it be in games or for a 3D avatar in the metaverse, is nothing new. Just in 2021, we have seen some digital assets grow even bigger than we have ever seen. The idea of NFTs has exploded just this year. And for a lot of people, this means a lot more than just buying a skin or a luxury item for your 3D avatar or character in a game. This is the wave of the future and a digital asset that you can buy and hold on to and possibly sell down the road. So today I want to talk all about the metaverse, and more specifically I want to talk about how cryptocurrency and NFTs are playing a huge role in how the metaverse is developing. But before we get into all of that, my name is Nate from Minority Mindset News, and if you like this video, then smash that thumbs up button below and hit that notification bell too. That way YouTube shows our videos to way more money minds around the world, and we can keep making videos just like this one. Just in case you've been living under a traditional currency boulder somewhere, cryptocurrency has exploded over the last 2 years, and there's a lot of reasons why crypto is now dominating markets all around the world. For one, markets were in shambles in 2020. When the pandemic first started in March of 2020, the stock market essentially crashed. We saw the fastest stock market dip in history. Basically, everything was shutting down, so that meant that businesses weren't going to get any more money. And if businesses aren't going to get any money, then that means they can't get any profits, and growth is going to shrink. So a lot of people were pulling their money from these companies, and more importantly, they were pulling their money from the stock market. That caused the stock market to shrink and eventually crash. But investors were still investing. A lot of people moved their money to some other commodities, and they moved their money to cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency exploded because it has value, even if our traditional dollars start to lose value. This is because the value of one Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency is going to be the exact same all throughout the world. It is a natural hedge against inflation and stock market crashes. We see investors investing in other things like gold for the exact same reason. 1 ounce of gold is going to be the exact same no matter where you go in the world. This gives it universal value. In addition, the federal government and the Federal Reserve decided that the only way to get us out of this recession and keep our economy alive was to print $3 to $5 trillion in stimulus. All of this money would go towards the people, and a lot of it would end up going towards a bond buying program on Wall Street. Essentially, that means trillions of dollars were printed, and that means trillions of dollars circulating throughout our economy. That means the value of every dollar that is in our economy is starting to decrease. So when investors start seeing the value of our dollars dropping, they tend to go somewhere else that is going to continue to gain value. That way they can continue to make money. Cryptocurrency was seen as an avenue to do that, and the technology for cryptocurrencies has exploded over the last 2 years. Now, cryptocurrency has gone way up, and it's also gone way down over the last 2 years, but that's not really what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the rise of NFTs in the cryptocurrency space. NFTs are non-fungible tokens, and they essentially work because of the Ethereum technology. And an NFT can be anything. It can be a work of digital art, it can be a song, it can literally be anything you can think of. The idea here, though, is that once you buy it, it is a unique piece on the blockchain. And you own sole rights to that piece. Think of it like buying a fancy painting, but in the digital world. You own that painting, and now you have a piece of history. And not only that, you have a one-of-a-kind, unique asset that is completely yours. NFTs have also helped the cryptocurrency market because they show that cryptocurrency is more than just a currency, it is a full-blown technology. And it's unique with every different piece of the blockchain. And by the summer of 2021, NFTs were exploding all throughout the world. People were sometimes spending millions of dollars on these digital assets. Artist Beeple created a digital collage called Everydays that sold for $69 million. And of course, this was an NFT. Now, whoever bought that owns the rights to that digital asset. They can do whatever they want with it, and this has opened the door for millions of other creators to make money from their art. Typically, if a content creator wants to put their work out there, they have to use a third-party platform. For instance, if you are a musician, you have to put your music on SoundCloud, or you have to put it on Apple Music or Spotify. Essentially, you are creating something and then you're giving it to another platform so that it can get exposure. The problem is, these platforms end up taking a huge chunk of revenue away from creators. And for a long time, this was just the price you paid if you wanted to be an artist online. If you even go the more traditional route and sell your music to a record label, it is the exact same thing. You're essentially creating music and then giving it to the record label. They own all of that content. With NFTs though, you essentially skip the line. You are now directly selling your music to the consumer. And the consumer has all of the rights to that because NFTs work on the blockchain. They create a unique hash that is then recorded and can never be duplicated. This fact alone makes NFTs very interesting because essentially you are everything all in one. You are the music creator, you are also the music seller. Some though are not convinced. If somebody has an NFT, especially a visual one like a piece of digital art, what is stopping someone from just screenshotting that art and getting the exact same value as the person who paid millions of dollars for it? Well, it's the same thing as saying what's the difference between going online and getting a picture of the Mona Lisa and then actually having the Mona Lisa. Yes, you may have a screenshot of this NFT, but all that is a screenshot and a cheap replication. At the end of the day, the person that owns that original hash and owns that original NFT can sell it for millions of dollars if people still think it's valuable. Because a lot of art has more inherent value than just the visual nature of it. There's also the creation aspect of it and the idea behind it. In addition, the artist that actually creates the piece, buying something from them is going to be a lot more valuable than just a screenshot. So is it really different visually? Well, technically no. But one could argue that the value is still there. What's even more interesting though is that by late 2021, we started getting this idea of the metaverse. Facebook literally changed its name to Meta. Now, the reason for this is because they wanted to be known more than just a social media company. Obviously, Facebook is one of the biggest social media giants in the world. But the company does a lot of other things. For instance, they own the company Oculus. Oculus makes VR headsets that you can literally wear to enter the metaverse. And recently, Facebook has taken it one step further and has started to really build on what you can do in the metaverse. They're building 3D avatars and spaces where people can interact 3D and digitally all online. And they're not the only one in the world doing this. Like I said, this Zepeto, South Korean digital software company, is doing the exact same thing. Every single day, our world is going increasingly more online, which is exactly why cryptocurrency is starting to boom. And as more people spend more time in the metaverse and all of these digital spaces, they're going to want more from them, and they're going to want them to feel more like the real world. For things to feel more like the real world, people need to be unique, which means all of these characters and 3D avatars within the metaverse are going to need to be unique too. And the only way for that to happen is to create a new digital marketplace. This digital marketplace would be just like the ones in real life, except for everything that you buy is exclusively in the metaverse. And this is where NFTs come in. NFTs are big, and they're starting to sell for millions of dollars, but eventually these NFTs are going to make their way into the metaverse market. We already know that there is a market for things like this because of video games. Games like Fortnite and Call of Duty sell skins. These are essentially things that your characters can wear, and that's pretty much it. They're only cosmetic changes to the game, but people spend hundreds of dollars on these skins. The reason for this is because it makes people feel unique in the game. The game essentially gives you a baseline of all of the things that everyone gets. However, some people go above that, and that basically sells itself. That's just basic psychology and culture at work. If everybody has that flashy new cool thing, then other people are going to want it too. This is why we have a culture of spending in the United States, and people want to look rich rather than actually be wealthy. And that is nothing new. We have seen these transactions in video games where people have taken real world money and bought in-game items for decades now. And the metaverse is just going to expand that. According to our Market Briefs newsletter, Gucci, Ralph Lauren, Selena Gomez, and Blackpink all have items for sale on Zeppeto's marketplace. That means in this digital space, you can literally buy real-world items and then put them on your digital avatars. And with businesses like SoftBank investing billions of dollars into this, and Facebook literally changing their name to Meta and investing billions of dollars into Oculus, there's obviously a market for this kind of thing. And for businesses, this is very interesting because this could be a new way for them to bring in revenue. NFTs, for the most part, are rather simple to create. At least right now, creators don't have to do much. This is a brand new space. However, I foresee that changing in the future because as the market becomes more saturated, companies and people are going to have to get way more original about what they're creating. But if this idea of digital marketplaces really starts to take off and bigger and more companies start to put more products in these online spaces, well, then you're going to start seeing billions of dollars pour into NFTs. That could really make the crypto market go up even further. Even if businesses don't go the crypto or NFT route and they make things more traditional like in-game purchases, digital payments will still continue. And eventually, as people are spending even more money online and moving away from our traditional paper money, that's going to push cryptocurrencies up even more. As our world gets more digital, cryptocurrencies are the digital currency, and they're going to take over. And of course, this is only if people continue to see cryptocurrencies as valuable. Crypto has a lot of hurdles it needs to jump over before it can become the dominant global currency. And adoption and legitimacy are the two biggest problems that cryptocurrency faces. The world hasn't fully adopted cryptos like Bitcoin and Ether yet. That means that it's hard to use them at this point. In addition, anybody can make a cryptocurrency, which means that anybody can get scammed with a crypto. If these digital marketplaces get too big and anyone is selling on these platforms, that means potentially millions could get scammed. We know this because it's happened before. Just a few months ago, we had the Squid Game coin come out. This was essentially a token that people needed to buy in order to play a game online that was based on the Netflix show Squid Game. The coin went from having no value to being valued at around $5,800 in a matter of days. What ended up happening though was the people that made this coin and the game ran off with everyone's money. They ran off with millions of dollars. And that was a bad investment. But from here on out, things are going to get a lot more complicated and it's going to be harder to spot scammers in the crypto industry. And because regulation for cryptos is light in places like the United States, well, that means there's not really much protecting you if millions of your dollars are scammed from you. But even with all of its problems, the world is becoming a lot more digital every single day. And right now, it looks like cryptocurrencies and NFTs are the logical path. And with that being said, as these digital marketplaces and metaverses grow, so will the idea of NFTs. People have to sell things. So NFTs might become a lot more common in a lot more industries, and they may bring in billions of dollars for some businesses and push the crypto market up to new record highs. But I do have to add here that this is all speculation. Nobody really knows what is going to happen in the cryptocurrency market. This market is super volatile and it's not really globally adopted yet. It seems unlikely, but for all we know, cryptocurrencies could crash and disappear within the next decade. But things have come this far, so it might be a little difficult to head back in the other direction. Enough about my thoughts though, now I want to hear from you. What do you think about these digital spaces known as the Metaverse? Will the metaverse end up taking over most of our lives, or is it just a sci-fi dream that will eventually fizzle out? In addition, how do you think that cryptocurrency and NFTs will play a role in these new digital marketplaces? Will we see NFTs incorporated into the metaverse, or will things become more traditional like they are in video games? Whatever your thoughts are, leave a comment below before you go. But that is it for today's Market Briefs video breakdown. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Keep hustling, money minds, and I'll see you all in the next one.